Welcome to Aftermath Digital TV, everyone. You're just in time for our fails. Lucky for you guys, I'm going to start everything off. And my fail is quite simple. Sonya Deville took it way too far when she cut Mandy Rose's hair. I'm telling you, if someone tried to cut my hair, I'm not confrontational. I would never harm a fly. But if you tried to cut my hair, whoo, man, something would go down, that's for sure.
Snatch your weave.
I don't know. Yeah. So I love this whole storyline. I love Sonya Deville. I love Mandy Rose. Just literally cutting the hair, taking it too far, girlfriend. That's all I got to say for that. That's my fail.
It became very personal when you do that. Obviously, I wouldn't have a problem with it if somebody did that to me.
No, Jimmy, imagine someone like shaving the sides of your head.
Yeah, again.
Or your stash.
Let me put it this way. If it was late 80s or early 90s, Jimmy referee, then I'd have a problem with it. But right now, no, but I see what you're saying. That sometimes personal issues get people invested, but sometimes you can take that personal issue one step too far. And I think maybe that's what happened here. But at the same time, now it makes me interested to see how the response is going to be here now and how far it's taken now.
Yep.
Yeah, human beings are funny animals, you know. The female human beings often put a lot into their hair, you know. We have all these grooming rituals and things that we do to each other. The fact that we even get our haircuts is kind of funny, you know. Like, what other animals gets their hair cut besides dogs that we do?
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, we groom so much, and we're so vain, right? Like, you know, our hair is so special and important to us, and women specifically, because it takes so much time to grow long hair and to detangle it. It's a lot of effort, a lot of maintenance. A lot of guys out there with short little haircuts, they don't realize it's a part-time job for a lot of girls.
Let me tell you though, my dad and his beard, when I was quarantining with my parents, I saw how much effort and time this beard gets. My dad brushes his beard. He blow dries his beard. He puts oil in his beard. He spends more time in the bathroom than I did.
Maybe Elliot Friedman needs to get together with your dad and work on the beard thing.
I saw Elliot on TV and I'm like, wow, that looks like someone I know.
People that know how much time it takes, when they see that cut, everyone's just like, oh no, she
literally
didn't.
My heart sank. I'm like, woo, man, no one's taking scissors to my hair.
It's classically in wrestling, if someone cuts somebody's hair, there's going to be a hair versus hair match somewhere down the line where someone's going to get their head shaved or lose all their hair or whatever. But the hair is such an important thing. I know that for a lot of ladies, if something horrible happens in their life and they need to make a huge change, they change their hair. They cut all their hair off. They dyed a different color. I got my whole new me. The old me's gone. But Mandy didn't get to make that choice on her own. She had it made for her by Sonya Deville. I guess this is going to keep going. I'd like to think there are more ladies to fight with on Friday night than just the two of them fighting with each other forever, because this has been going on since WrestleMania. So let's get some finality to it. Let's have them have a match at SummerSlam, and let's have them just end this.
Shave each other's heads.
Sure.
Well, you're absolutely right, because, I mean, at the end of the day, there's supposed to be brackets, and people are kind of going to try and become number one seeds to challenge for the title, and an emotional rivalry. I mean, I understand you have to sort stuff out, but it really shouldn't constantly supersede the fact that we're trying to become champions. That's
right.
The ultimate focus.
Mm-hmm.
All right, AC, your fail.
Oh, God, I couldn't stop looking. So first of all, Nia Jax beating up an official is bad. The fact that it was Pat Buck was okay. I've known him for a long time, but the headbutt looked beautiful, and he sold it great. He was laying there, boom, and then all of a sudden you see this massive makeup mark, like from her whole face on his like shoulder and chest. So to pull back the curtain a little bit, that's a working headbutt, obviously, but she was caked on with so much makeup, and he was wearing a white shirt, and you could tell the camera people didn't want to keep showing it because they were stooging off with how he when you do magic tricks, they were showing the wires kind of thing when people are levitating and all that stuff, and they just kept going back to it. And as soon as they went to it, I looked at it, and then they go away. Then someone saying someone's in the directing thing is saying, don't go on him. You can see the makeup. It looks horrible. Well, we got to show him. Okay, go back to him. Okay, change it again. It looks horrible. And it was just this back and forth really fast. So like, but if they flashed it fast enough, we weren't going to see it. And of course, it's off the mark by like a foot. It was painful. It was
the Shroud of Jax. It was the Shroud of Jax. She left a face print on his shirt.
Yeah.
There you go.
And in the infamous live TV.
Yeah.
And in the infamous words of the legendary Gordon Soley, nothing more to be said at this time from me. Anyways.
That's right.
Guys, it's also hard though being a woman. Makeup in that lighting is hard too, and I can't imagine what it's like to
great.
like if I played soccer and had to wear like TV makeup, I'd probably have makeup dripping down my shirt too.
Yeah,
it's tough. I see it from you want to look good and you want to look glamorous. Again, it's sports entertainment. You want to look the part. So I can understand it. It's tough, but I will say that when you have like all that makeup on, you're even hesitant to go and hug some people because you're afraid that all that makeup's going to get on the person's shirt. So right. I'm sure that even for Naya, that must have been like, oh no, well,
she kept looking at it too. And she was like, I could saw she was shaken by it. But
of course.
We even had meetings. We even had a staff meeting years ago, and Zack Ryder got in trouble because Zack Ryder was often on like main event, like earlier before Raw, and he put so much tanner on. And the Miz as well. He would take a bump, and the canvas had to be changed.
Yep. As someone who had to change the canvas and go out there with everybody, that's when, because of people like that, that's what happened. There used to be 2 canvases, and then it became 3. And anyways.
Just from a female perspective, I think it's hard to do the whole glam and athletics at the same time. So I give a major shout out to all those women. But I feel for Naya because I guarantee you she saw it and she was like, oh no. Because I'm telling you, when I hug people and I have a whole face of makeup on, I'm like, oh, I hope my face didn't rub up against their shirt, and they're going to notice it later. They have to now wash their shirt or grab the tie to go, Yeah. So
I think people are going to learn from it when you realize, okay, if I'm going to put hands on you, or even if you're wearing tanner or makeup or anything, what color shirt are you wearing? Because that was like literally like
wear a shirt that matches the makeup.
There you go, brown shirt. Everyone wear brown shirts.
Brown shirt.
Problem solved.
All right, Jimmy, your fail. It was a valid point though.
Okay, for me, I like the fact that they are trying to have an audience present to make some noise. It adds some background noise, and it helps it from being completely silent while the matches are going on. But the ending of Friday Night SmackDown, when The Fiend appeared to terrorize Alexa Bliss and put the mandible claw on her and sort of stuff like that, and we got the background noise of the crowd booing and stuff like that, that was a situation where silence would have been golden. I think it hurt the presentation, having everybody go, oh, boo, boo, boo. This was a scary situation. When you watch something, you're usually something like that, like whether it's a horror movie, something, you're kind of horrified and you're kind of silent. I think that took away from a really, really poignant moment. And I wish it just would have been quiet and let it go off the air like that. Inside.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of that, because it wasn't like he was being a villain and cheating. He was actually like being like in a horror movie, right?
Yeah, and then in a horror movie, you wouldn't boo. If you're watching a horror movie and the bad guy attacked, you'd yell, run! You'd yell anything else other than, boo!
Could you imagine?
Jason Voorhees, you're the worst with that knife. Boo! It doesn't work that way. You run. You get out of there.
Behind the door. Boo.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
I just think, in my opinion, it hurt that ending, which was really interesting because it's connecting some dots from the past with Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss, and we saw little flashes in that swamp match of her as maybe Sister Abigail. I don't know. I don't want to try.
It kind of looks like now that the swamp conversation was more of a way to find a weakness in Braun for the Fiend, and I think Alexa Bliss is the weakness that they're looking for, a weak point in Braun's armor.
Well, actually, to go on Jimmy's point, there was a couple times where I was distracted by somebody behind the plexiglass, whether it be someone's cutting a promo in the ring or someone's entrance, and they're a little too big. if it was a collective audience of thousands and thousands of people, you wouldn't notice. But because they're individuals and they're big individuals, and some of them look cool, and they got the masks and the glasses and the muscles, and there was, I don't know who he is, but I kept looking at him, and like, I hope they're not trying to use this opportunity to be on TV to try and get over and try and be noticed. I'm sure someone will be noticed because of their high intense energy from the audience, but if everyone's trying to do that, it's going to take away from the in-ring action.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right, Nug. I have a feeling your fail deals with my win. So.
I just have to, I want to check my notes to make sure I got this right.
goodness.
So Raw now has a grittier, realistic fight league next door to where they shoot Raw. This underground league has scantily clad dancing women. Current roster wrestlers can walk next door and fight other people for what? Nothing? Okay. And then MVP, who has said over the last few months, me and my guys only fight when the time is right. We never give away the goods for free. Then walked next door and fought for free. I want stuff to look forward to on this show. And last night seemed like a giant step backwards to me. It seemed very, I don't want to call it Brawl for All because it was Brawl for None. It just seemed, for all the new and different presentation, and we want to see new and different things. And for an audience that watches this show that maybe has only been watching for the last 10 years, this might have seen new and different, but it's something we've seen before. We've also know the stories of the Brawl for All where people got hurt and had their careers ended for a thing exactly like this. I don't want to see anybody's careers get ended. I don't want to see dancing, scantily clad women in terrible lighting. I want to see a show that makes sense, and last night made no sense to me.
Well, just like, our current situation, I think this is the new norm because unfortunately, one or two people have to like it, and that means it's here to stay. So if this is Shane's baby, it's going to get a full opportunity. You know what I mean? And they're going to max it out. It has potential. It's not the finished product. I actually did not see the Dancing Girls, so every time you guys say that, I have to go back and watch that part. But and the fact that it's next door.
Yeah, it's next
true.
door.
Yeah.
This underground fight league is next door.
Yeah, you'd think you'd be like downtown in a basement of a building.
Or in a undisclosed location, maybe.
Yeah, but it's just next door.
It's just next door.
Well, they don't have a sign on the door, so you don't know that it's in there.
No, but they have a guard and coffee's being delivered.
There should be like chickens running around and the bedding and everything, like a kumite.
For me, I want to give this a chance.
Sure.
I think times are, something needs to change on Monday Night Raw. So let's see what happens. Like I said in my win segment, if you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. Maybe in a few weeks it could be a fail of mine, but right now, let Shane do his thing. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see the aesthetic of it. I could do without the dancing girls. 100% I agree, but maybe they'll learn from that mistake, right? Like change is good. Let's see.
I think back to when the 24/7 championship came out and we all went, and now it's like one of our favorite things.
Exactly.
So.
Okay. Like I said before, I too will give it a chance. I wasn't impressed with the first impression of it this week, but why does it have to take place in a ring with the ropes taken down? Why can't it just, if you're going to make it like a pit fight, why not have a rounded kind of pit sort of thing? Kind of similar to what, when was it on NXT this last week?
The pit fight with
yes. Thatcher and make it look completely different. Don't make it a wrestling ring with the ropes down. Make it 100% completely
interesting
like
to me because I liked it like that last night, but now that you say that, I'm like, that makes more sense to me, and I think that would look even cooler.
Because you get that sound like you do in a wrestling ring when someone takes a big backdrop or someone gets gut wrenched and thrown to you're getting the same sound. If you want to be different, make it completely different.
Oh, the canvas is black.
Yeah, and by the way, just got to throw it out there. You're killing me, Spider. Every week. But anyways.
Oh God, I've competed in a style of pro wrestling where There's no ropes on the ring, and it just comes from my background in Japan, where you don't even touch the ropes much anyway. I love it, man. There's a lot, again, there's a lot of potential to introduce new people here. But here's one of the things. So right now it's like a panic to be different, because without any audience members and most of the major companies doing the same kind of thing in one studio, lighting, everything like that, the playing field is pretty level with regards to what type of production and the quality of production you can put out. So now so before, for example, you tune into company X, 1,200 people, tune into WWE, 20,000 people. This must be the big leagues because there's more people here. It's a bigger venue. And all of a sudden, everything's filmed in a studio. I can't tell who's the big leagues and who's what. So everything's kind of the same. So why would I watch this? There's just different guys. And it's hard to say that these guys are better than these guys. They're all kind of all, 95% kind of the same. There's obviously legends that are there, but they're a bit better. So everyone's scrambling. We got to do something different. We got to do something different.
So what you're saying is perception is reality.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, because the products are all the most similar they've ever been at this particular time, viewership is going to be dispersed gradually, eventually over everything, because it's all basically all the same. So I get the panic in terms of let's try this. Right. We're losing viewers. Let's try this. So that's what they came up with.
The only problem with that is when you throw too much stuff at the wall, even the stuff that sticks gets washed off.
Well, the only thing I know is that Nug should be wearing these glasses for the full segment.
You can see my ring light. I'm worried about seeing my ring light.
No, but that's just like an episode of Blue Bloods when you're watching Frank Reagan in his office and you can see anyways, never mind.
I actually bought a new ring light. I should probably use it. I'm not using my lamp.
That's why you've been dim.
I have one, but it causes a glare. Never mind.
I have one. Hopefully I don't look orange anymore.
No.
All
right, Aftermath TV fans, let us know what your fails are, and stay tuned because trivia's coming out, and guess who's hosting?
I was just
it's okay
joking.
to be orange because if you're never mind.
Bye everyone.